going on, guys? Welcome back to the Free Fall Podcast. This is episode 8. Today we are joined with my good friend Janae. She's an aspiring YouTuber, so she's going to be here kind of practicing getting in front of the camera and working on some of that stuff. So that'll be pretty cool. I wanted to go over some current events today that I'm sure you guys have heard in the news. But before we get into it, I want to just remind you guys again of the email for the podcast. It's freefallmindset@gmail.com. We are still accepting questions. If you guys want to have a topic on the podcast, if you want to be on the podcast, if you have questions, go ahead and email that. And as well, I will remind you guys again, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a self-improvement podcast, a podcast for current events, interview style. We're going to cover a lot of different stuff. We are on episode 8 again. We are continuing to grow. We're going to have some people lined up, so some big stuff. Got another camera on the way, so we're going to have 2 camera angles next podcast, which will be pretty cool. I'm really excited about that. That's kind of, I've been doing some research on good camera lenses and stuff, so really improving the podcast. But as we continue to put effort in the podcast, if you guys could do me a favor and please share the podcast. If you're returning, please share with your friends and family so that we can grow. We are steadily growing. That's really cool, and I appreciate all the support. So that being said, let's jump right into the current events today. I got some pretty interesting things today that are kind of out there. I know you guys have heard about the submersible, the Titanic Submersible that has gone missing / imploded / whatever happened to it. But basically, if you have lived under a rock or you have also been in a submarine yourself for the last couple of weeks and you haven't had any access to any news, a group of 5 crew members basically decided to do some crazy stuff, and they each paid $250,000 to get in a shoebox that is bolted from the outside and go explore the deep sea. 13,000 feet. Is that right?
That's where the Titanic sits, yeah.
Okay, so 13,000 feet down below on the ocean sea floor. And yeah, they were all bolted from the outside, sitting together in a very close-knit, uncomfortable, weird, very strange scenario. But basically this company called OceanGate, and they've done this before, but the CEO of OceanGate, which is, I got this little list here, Stockton Rush, was the CEO of OceanGate and took some billionaires and some explorers with him. The crew consisted of Stockton as the CEO and the captain, and Paul Henry Nargeolet he's a French diver and a Titanic researcher. Hamish Harding, which he's a British businessman, pilot, and space tourist. I know that he went on recently to
search for a missing submersible.
Sorry about that.
Carrying tourists to view the Titanic. The vessel losing contact about 9.
He basically went on Jeff Bezos's spaceship, right? Is that correct? What was that called? Something blue. I don't know. He went on there and he went to the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I don't think they went to the moon. They
just went into space.
Yeah.
Okay. So he went to space on that, and then the other people on there was Shazda and Sulman Dawood. I know that was he was the billionaire, the British
father and son.
Yeah, father and son, and took his 19-year-old son, I believe he was 19, on. And supposedly he was scared and didn't want to go. It's really, really tragic, guys. If everything isn't just a smoke and mirrors, who knows what really happened? But if it really was just a tragic accident, that's terrible, and our hearts go out to them. But if it was something else, and this was, I can't help but my conspiracy mindset is this is a weird thing, right? You've heard a lot of different things about it. Supposedly the Navy. I'm actually not even reading this. I'm just been fascinated with this. I know that the Navy, an hour and a half into their submersion, basically after everything was done and they ran out of oxygen, the Navy was like, "Oh yeah, we heard like an implosion."
Mm-hmm. First day.
Yeah, like an hour and a half into the dive. So that's weird. They keep saying they find debris and then they found it and they didn't find it. It's just really weird. it could be as simple as, very irresponsibly went down there and they imploded. But I am a different type of mind, and I don't believe that. I believe there's more to the story.
What does the name remind you of? Ocean Gate?
Yeah, that's good. See, perfect. You're just doing great. Yeah, it's like Stargate. It's like Ocean Gate. It's like is this near the Bermuda Triangle? Am I correct on this? I'm looking, it's off the coast of Canada. I'm pretty sure that's where the Bermuda Triangle is. Am I totally off?
Bermuda's over near Florida.
Yeah, I totally knew that. Yep, good. Just check and make sure you're paying attention. What's up there off the coast of Canada? That's not another one?
The Arctic Ocean, I believe. Or
There's
near the Arctic.
Are you sure there's no Bermuda Triangle?
The Bermuda,
near Canada.
It's a triangle. It connects from Miami to Bermuda, the island, to the Bahamas.
You make me look stupid. Yeah, good. Cool. We all knew that, obviously. I was just kidding. I was thinking of something else. Hamish Harding was... he circumnavigated the Earth in 2019. He was one of the explorers on the vessel, and he made a dive in 2021 to the deepest point on Earth, Challenger Deep in the Mariana Trench. Mm-hmm. So he's already done. He was pretty experienced. Weird thing though, the ship was controlled by an Xbox controller,
an old one.
And I saw a little video like on TikTok, and they were literally like waving goodbyes. They were being bolted in, and like there was actively things going wrong as they were literally getting ready to do this mission and descending. Mm-hmm. It just like everything, every hair on the back of your neck that's telling you this is a bad idea. Like there's no way that they didn't. It's just weird. These guys are like important figures. They seem pretty smart. It just it screams. We went into an underground portal to me. Yeah. An alien portal. That's pretty much where I'm thinking happened. But maybe not.
They didn't even make it.
I know. It's just weird. This whole thing's weird, right? Mm-hmm. It's weird. And the reason I say it's weird, okay, and I'm not just spitballing here, the most interesting thing is that the Shahzada Dawood, the vice chairman of Engro Corporation Limited, blah, 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 blah. Basically, he was into some extra... He was like the chairman of an... this article doesn't say it, ironically enough. ABC News, kind of leaving that out, right? Of course they would. But basically, he was on the board of an extraterrestrial organization. And if you guys also know and have been paying attention, there's been a lot of like ET stuff in the news. There's been a lot of very prominent and important figures. This is all real stuff, guys. This isn't fake. Coming out and basically explaining how we are completely in contact with extraterrestrials. They're here. We have their technology, blah, blah. So a lot of weird stuff going on in the world. A lot of weird stuff. And then this guy goes missing. So I always have like a skeptical mindset when it comes to things like this. I don't know if it's planned. It just seems strange. It just really seems strange to me. So, and then the other guy, we'll just go over all of them. Paul, the Nargolay, one of him, Stockton Rush. Yeah, Stockton Rush. This guy, he just looks shady to me. The way the videos of him like explaining stuff. I know there was a video of him having the controller. He was explaining controls, and he like forgot which one was up and down when he was explaining the joystick. Oh, he was like, I think the left side's up and down. Well, maybe it's the right side. Well, I don't remember. Does anyone remember? And like it was just like a video, like a documentary. But it almost seems so obviously ridiculous that it seems planned. It's almost like after hearing about all this and seeing all the videos of how like this was so janky and how they were using like used parts and salvaging things and like it just looked so terrible. It almost was like they're clearly trying to portray that this was a bad like mission. Like it wasn't properly planned for, but they're overdoing it. It seems like they're overdoing the fact that this wasn't, properly planned for and stuff. And it's just kind of skeptical of it. But anyways, tragic incident. If that's really what happened. But anyways, yeah, so that's been all over the news, and that's pretty much that was like last week, I think that happened, so a little bit late on it. What do you think about it? I know you know my take. I talk to you a lot about stuff, and that's gonna be my skeptical mindset on it, my take. What do you think about it?
I think there is some sketchiness revolved around it, but I try not to speak too much on it in case, because those are people's family members and child 19.
I know. Sorry if the family's listening and they happen to come across this podcast someday. I'm sorry. But
I do, yeah.
But they also could be, like it very well could have happened, but there could be like foul play is what I'm saying.
That
what I'm saying? That's definitely been happened in history. So I guess we'll never know. It's kind of interesting. I'm sure we'll talk about it for years and years and years.
The fish know.
The fish know. Yeah. It'd be weird to like go down in the ocean, like pitch black ocean.
I would love to.
You would love to? I know. I'm terrified of the ocean. Absolutely terrified of the deep blue sea. I don't know why. Some people like love surfing. It's not for me. I like the ocean. I like the beach at night. It's like very tranquil to me. It's like one of my new things. So like going to the beach at night, like the ocean. But as far as like getting in there, I'm good. I'm a land animal.
I am neck
Sharks are too strong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're built different. Next topic I wanted to talk about, which is just straight up awesome to me, is the apparently, I don't know exactly what happened. It was a Twitter war. I'm not really on Twitter too much at all, actually. But I do get on and just kind of look at the news and stuff. But apparently on Twitter, Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg were going at it. Something came up, and basically Elon was like, "I'm down for a cage match," and Zuckerberg was like, "Send me your addy, bro." Like that's pretty much what happened. Like actually, word for word, I'm pretty sure. But it's pretty much transpired. I think it was sort of a joke, maybe, maybe not. I know these guys don't like each other. Like a competitive, one is an alien and one is a robot. So obviously they represent their people and they got beef. But yeah, it's I guess it's transpired from the last thing I looked up was into a $1 billion charity match. $1 billion charity match. Cage match. Cage fighting, which is absolutely awesome to me. I think it's so freaking cool. And obviously, if you're an Elon Musk fan, you think he's going to win. If you're a Mark Zuckerberg fan, which I don't know anyone who's a Mark Zuckerberg fan, but yeah. But as far as like the deets on it, I did kind of look it up because I was curious. I know Mark was doing some jiu-jitsu and like was taking it very seriously, which I thought was really cool. Anyone who takes the time, any guy who takes the time to learn how to fight, I think is pretty cool. I think all men should learn how to have physical combat. That's one of the things that I preach for guys, young men especially. It teaches you physical and mental discipline. So it's really important to do that. So props to him for pursuing that, and that's pretty cool. But he recently actually won a jiu-jitsu tournament, and he got gold and silver medals. It was like a novice tournament, I'm pretty sure. But it was like a legit tournament. It wasn't like something small. And he won, and he's currently a white belt, which is like a novice belt. But yeah, who you got your money on? Who do you think is going to win?
I think Mark is going to win.
You think Zuckerberg? You said Elon was going to win earlier.
No, I didn't. I said my money is on Zuckerberg. He's just, I feel like he's more physically able.
Elon's kind of fat. He's out of shape.
He's a little sloppy, yeah.
He's a big dude, though. He's got a lot of weight behind him.
Yeah, but I feel like, I don't know. I just don't feel like he's a fighter.
I don't know. I think Elon's crazy. I think he's crazy,
but like he's more psychological. Like
I don't know. I think he's just actually crazy. Because here's why I think that. He is, when he speaks and when he like thinks about something, he gets in such a deep trance thought. And for fighting, to be able to go into a certain headspace is pretty valuable. Not everybody can do that. I think personally, here's what I think. I think Elon is going to, once he knows that this is actually happening, I think he'll like obsess over it and become good at it. I know that he's supposedly on the Joe Rogan podcast, he had said that he was, when he was younger, involved in Taekwondo and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Judo and all this stuff. But a lot of people say that, and it's not really true. Like they dabbled in it. So I don't know how true it is. I do know there's a video of him, or I saw a photograph of it, and he went against a sumo wrestler and like supposedly tossed him. He's like this big sumo wrestler, but then he got tossed and he like chipped some discs in his spine and had like back pain. So it's not looking too good. Elon, I don't know, man. It's like you don't have like a lot of credibility right now. But I am an Elon fan, so I hope that he takes it serious, and I'm sure he will. I think he's got enough money to hire somebody good. So
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see what happens. Pretty interesting. Definitely really interesting. A lot of that seems like a lot of that in society lately. People are like either they're boxing or stuff like that, which is cool. I think it's pretty cool. It's very interesting. It's kind of like barbaric in a way, but there's something about like physically fighting that people are drawn to. What do you think that is?
I think it's getting back down to your roots.
Getting back like
your
as humans.
Ancestral. Yeah, you know, when
we
you
all
were
have
just like out running, eating grapes and
eating grapes. I think people definitely have like an instinctual desire to like
it's like primal.
Yeah. Like once you tap into that or like feel that, it's like you can't really replicate that. Yeah. I definitely see that. That's like why I think sports are popular, because it's kind of a little bit more primal.
Especially football.
Yeah, I don't know. Football's like really dangerous. So
it is, but it's aggressive.
Football's fun to play. For me, football's fun to play. It wasn't fun to watch. I don't know. A lot of people are going to disagree with that, but
I can't watch sports.
Why? I can't either. But why can't you?
It's my mind. I
ADD?
watch for probably. After a few seconds, I'm just like, ugh, it's so boring. Actually, I'm Gen Z.
It is kind of boring. For me, the reason I can't watch sports, and I tell everybody, is because I played college sports, and I can't sit down and watch a basketball game without wanting to play. Like I'll watch 5 minutes, and I'll be like, I have to go to the gym. So I just can't watch them, because then I want to go like get up and play. All right, and then the last one, this is great. This is great. And I kind of just like, looked at some interesting topics. I'm going to try to be more current events with the podcast, because, it's entertaining hearing people's take on it. But this headline really just got my, interest. UK officials say Russia is likely training combat dolphins for Ukraine war. I'll say that again. Russia is training combat dolphins. That is some crazy stuff, like out of a movie. And I was so excited about this article that I chose to not read it until right now. So let's read it together. The UK Ministry of Defense announced on Friday that the agency's intelligence found that it is likely Russia has trained combat dolphins to defend its Navy base in Sevastopol. That's crazy. So if you want to mess with the Russian Federation in their military, you got to go through their dolphins first. The Russian Navy has been enhancing security at its base in the city in occupied Crimea last summer. According to the update, the imagery of the base reveals increasing number of floating mammal pens, likely housing bottlenose dolphins. This includes at least 4 layers of nets and booms across the harbor entrance. In recent weeks, these defenses have likely also been augmented by an increased number of trained marine mammals. So we don't really know if it's dolphins. It really could be sharks with lasers attached to their heads. We don't know yet.
I think sharks are intelligent enough.
Hey, I think that sounds really cool, and I'm just a believer. Russia has previously used beluga whales and seals in Arctic regions for Navy surveillance missions. Missions, according to the UK Ministry of Defense. Is this like a thing I'm not aware of? Is there like a whole world of like marine mammals fighting? Is there like a whole war underground of like dolphins and beluga whales and stuff? I'm not aware of.
Dolphins are racist against each other.
I know you hate dolphins. What does that even mean? Dolphins are racist, everyone.
There's like different colors of dolphins. There's ones who are like purely gray, and then there's some with spots. The ones with gray will gang attack the ones with spots because they have spots.
Are they different races of dolphins? Is that classified as racist dolphins? Or like
yeah,
species?
I guess. I mean, they're the same.
Because I know monkeys will fight each other. Different species of monkeys.
But they're the same species. It's like kind of like
they're the same species?
It's kind of like, I guess they're not the same species. It's like kind of like dogs, but with like, no, it's the same. It's like having a black golden retriever versus a golden retriever, and the gold.
And they just don't like each other?
Yeah, will gang up on the, yeah.
Oh no, what happened to my thing? So I know you were bashing dolphins earlier. Like you don't like dolphins.
It's not that I don't like them. They're just evil.
I've never heard anyone that has beef with dolphins. Okay, so according to a PBS Frontline episode, a whale of a business dolphins can attack and mark underwater mines as well as detect enemy swimmers. Bottlenose dolphins use echolocation to find objects underwater and therefore have the most sophisticated sonar known to science. That's pretty cool. That's actually really cool. According to the Naval Information Warfare Center, their exceptional low-light vision and underwater directional hearing make them useful for surveillance and defense missions. Cool. Dolphins have been used by the U.S. military before. Didn't know that. Before the and the thing you said earlier. Both the United States and Soviet Union raced to train marine mammals during the Cold War. Didn't know that. I'm sure some people did, but I didn't know that. At one point during the 1980s, the U.S. program had over 100 dolphins as well as numerous sea lions and beluga whales. And an operating budget of $8 million. Dolphins played a role in the Vietnam War in the Persian Gulf, patrolling anchored vessels with their sonar and alerting trainer guards of enemy swimmers. This is a USA Today article, by the way, guys, if you want to go check it out. Rumors circulated during the Vietnam War that the Navy trained dolphins to attack and kill enemy divers, although the Navy claims no dolphins have ever been trained to kill a human. Oh, imagine that. We didn't train them to do that. They just started killing them. I don't know where they learned that from. Russia has used mammals in the past, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, cool. So like surveillance and sonar and all that stuff. What does it mean? Russia has occupied Crimea for 9 years since Russia invaded Ukraine more than a year ago. Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky has pledged to drive Russian forces out of all Ukraine's territory. Also, yeah, another like weird smoke screen thing that happened. I guess like there was, I'm sure you guys have heard about it. There was a coup by one of the mercenaries under Putin, and he basically Putin wasn't paying him or something like that, and he turned around and started marching towards Moscow, took a bunch of stuff, but it was very shady. And apparently they're good friends. It was his old chef, actually. Putin's old chef. They're very good friends, and Parliament was not letting Putin do some stuff. This is like super advanced. I'm sure you guys are probably like brain turned off by now, but those of you that are into like politics and war and stuff, basically Parliament wasn't letting, from what I heard and what I understand, Parliament wasn't letting Putin do some things, and so this mercenary just so happened to march straight to that defense ministry and like take over, like coincidentally enough. So it's like, that's why some people are skeptical of it. You know, is this actually, you know, Putin doing a tactical move because he couldn't pass the laws or whatever he wanted? So he used a fake coup from a mercenary group to take over and, you know, now they'll replace. It's kind of actually genius if you think about it, if you really understand like the politics of war and stuff. But a lot more to it. But anyways, I thought that was pretty interesting, guys. I'm gonna try to do more current events and like make them quicker and more like laid back, and just get like, because those. Instead of me, like, for a week talking to all my friends who don't really want to hear what I have to say because I just love to talk about stuff, just going to get on here and, you know, diary and talk about stuff. And if you guys want to email, again, that's freefallmindset@gmail.com. Email me questions. I'd love to, like, read them and stuff like that. And you guys can actually call in, too. It's, like, super maybe not going to happen, but it would be cool because I have a device here that will literally let somebody call me and they can be on the podcast. So something to think of if you guys want to get really creative. If you are interested in that, email me. Other than that, guys, please, if you have not subscribed and you're watching the video, or tell your friends to subscribe, like the video, share it. It's pretty interesting stuff, and I want to keep doing them and being more consistent. I'm trying. I also ordered another camera. I'm excited about it. It's gonna provide a different layer and feeling to the podcast, so it'll be really, really cool. But other than that, guys, we're gonna wrap it up here. Janae, thank you for joining me. She's gonna be back on here, and I will link her socials in the video down below, so you can go follow her if you want to. She's really cool. She's real interesting. She's got a crazy outlook on stuff. Didn't really dive too much into it today, but we're going to in the future. So there'll probably be a different type of podcast. I want to talk about like some different types of stuff. It doesn't really match today, but yeah. So if you want to check her out, should be down below. So thank you for joining. I appreciate it. And I will wrap it up there, guys. Thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day and stay fresh. Peace.